Addod Solutions. Add-on Desire.
Hello viewers, welcome to Addod Solution Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Pengonda. In this session, we will cover relevant topics from both the Hindu and the Indian Express, and also in the end, we will see some practice MCQs. We will begin our session with the first article, which is talking about the conferment of the World Heritage inscription given to the Rudrashvara temple or the Ramapa temple. So first we will see where this temple is. The Kakatiya kingdom of the South India, the Kakatiya kingdom of the South India has constructed this Rudrashvara temple dedicated to Lord Shiva in the year 1213. So more than 800 years ago, this temple has been constructed by the Kakatiya dynasty, which ruled large parts of the South India. And this Rudrashvara or the Ramapa temple is currently in the state of Telangana. It is in the state of Telangana. And yesterday, the UNESCO has formally conferred the World Heritage inscription status to this Rudrashvara or the Ramapa temple. Now we'll understand what is the significance and benefit we will get after a temple or a site is given or conferred this status of World Heritage inscription. The first advantage will be the UNESCO giving some funds. So as the UNESCO, which stands for United Nations Educational, Social and Cultural Organization, has given this recognition to preserve this important landmark or the site, UNESCO may provide funds to this protection. And the second is UNESCO might offer expertise in preservation of this monument, as seen earlier that this is a 800-year-old monument. So to preserve it, the UNESCO might provide funds and also expertise. And apart from these two benefits, the significance of giving this conferment would also lead to increase in the prestige and increase in the awareness of this monument worldwide. So these are the several benefits that are expected after UNESCO conferring this World Heritage inscription status. Now we'll see where this UNESCO is headquartered at. It is headquartered at Paris, which is the capital of France. Next article is talking about IFC giving 250 million loan to the HDFC. So we'll see what is this IFC. IFC stands for International Finance Corporation. It stands for International Finance Corporation. What you need to understand is that this is a body coming under the World Bank Group. So we have the World Bank Group, and under that there are 5 important institutions. One of them is the International Financial Corporation. We'll see what it mainly does. To promote private sector growth in a country, in the developing countries in general, this International Financial Corporation provides loans at a reduced interest rate. So as India is a developing country, the financial institution named as HDFC Limited is given $250 million loan by this International Financial Corporation. Also it is stated that 25% of the loan HDFC is receiving from this organization would have to be used for green affordable housing. So what is this green housing that is mentioned? Green affordable or the green housing refers to sustainable housing. So these are the environmentally sustainable housing where the use of water, building materials will be used efficiently. So to construct these houses, water, building materials and other substances would be efficiently used. So these are the green housing that is referred in this article. Our next article is talking about the Great Barrier Reef that it is stated to be avoiding the UNESCO downgrade. So we'll see where this Great Barrier Reef located. In the image you can see on the northeastern part of Australia we have the Great Barrier Reef. So what are these Great Barrier Reefs? These are the world's largest coral reefs located in the northeastern part of Australia, and these are nearly 2,300 kilometers long. What we have seen in the last month is that when UNESCO's meeting are going on, China along with few other countries have asked the UNESCO to downgrade the recognition it has granted to this important coral reef area, stating that due to climate change and increasing temperature of the world oceans, the coral reefs were negatively impacted. So they asked the UNESCO to downgrade the heritage status it has given to this Great Barrier Reef. But after the consultation with Australian Environmental Minister and other members, it is stated that it has avoided this downgrade. So Great Barrier Reef is in Australia. Next article is talking about Maharashtrian government planning to form a force like the NDRF, So we'll see why Maharashtrian government is planning to establish a new force like the NDRF. From the coming of southwest monsoon, what we have seen is the heavy rainfall in the Maharashtra and nearby areas, and as a result of it we have seen flooding, we have seen landslides taking place, and due to flooding and due to landslides, more than 150 people has lost their lives in Maharashtra and nearby states. So to mitigate the negative impact of disasters and to provide rescue and relief efforts, Maharashtrian government is planning to bring a force like the NDRF. Now, what is this NDRF? We'll see. NDRF stands for National Disaster Response Force. So, NDRF stands for National Disaster Response Force. From the title of this itself, you can understand that this is a response force against disaster that is happening mainly in India. Now we'll see some background of this NDRF. What we have seen from the starting of 21st century is Gujarat earthquake, the big tsunami that happened in Indian Ocean. So there has been huge disasters that have taken place in the very beginning of the 21st century when it comes to India. So to mitigate the negative impact of disasters and to provide rescue and relief efforts, the Indian Parliament has come up with the Disaster Management Act of 2005. And under this Disaster Management Act of 2005, it has stated that a new force called as the NDRF force will be established so as to provide relief and rescue operations. And currently it has 12 battalions, with each battalion having nearly 1150 members. These 12 battalions are spread evenly across various parts of the country so that when there is a disaster, these specific and trained forces will provide relevant support and relevant safety to the people. You should also remember that NDRF has not only provided its operations in India, but also it has provided its operations in Nepal and even in Japan. When we have seen the huge earthquake in Nepal in the year 2015, NDRF was sent there to provide relevant support. And also when there is a huge tsunami in Japan in the year 2011, even in this case, Indian government has sent the NDRF. So this is with respect to the National Disaster Response Force and the Maharashtrian government to start a force like the NDRF for its own usage. Our next article is talking about the Kargil Divorce. So we'll see what is this Kargil Divorce. In the July of 1999, what we have seen is the Pakistani government sending in militia and regular army members to capture and occupy Indian territories, mainly near the Kargil area. So where is Kargil? Kargil is a place in the current Ladakh Union Territory. So in the year 1999, Pakistan government has provided arms and ammunition to the local militia and even sent its own troops to occupy Indian territories. So to push them back and to reoccupy our Indian territories, Indian government has to start an operation or a war. This operation is titled as Operation Vijay. So we have the Operation Vijay, where Indian government has sent its troops troops to reoccupy Indian territories from the Pakistani establishment. And in this Operation Vijay and in the entire Kargil conflict or the Kargil war, Indian troops has lost nearly 550 lives. So to commemorate Kargil war and to remember these Indian troops, what we observe every year is the Kargil Vijay Divorce on July 26th of every year, on July 26th, that is today, every year. So this is with respect to the Kargil Vijay Divorce and the Kargil War. Our next article is talking about the World Cadet Wrestling Championship which was conducted in Hungary. It is stated that in this World Cadet Wrestling Championship, Indian Miss Priya Malik has won this championship. In the image you can see Miss Priya Malik. Miss Priya Malik. Also you should remember that this championship has taken place in Hungary, which is a European country. Our next article is talking about revival of SAARC. So what is SAARC? SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So it stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. From the name itself you can understand that this is a grouping of South Asian countries so as to improve the regional cooperation. We'll see brief background about this SAARC. Way back in the year 1985, this SAARC body has been established. It currently has 8 members. These are Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Sri Lanka and Maldives. So all the 8 South Asian countries are part of this SAARC grouping, and the headquarters of the SAARC grouping is in Kathmandu. So it is headquartered at Kathmandu, which is the capital of Nepal. After the Uri attacks, in which Pakistani militia have attacked Indian troops in Rajasthan and elsewhere, what we have seen is the SAARC body not functioning properly, and as a result in the last 4-5 years we have not had any SAARC group meeting. So the author is talking about revival of the SAARC grouping so as to improve and promote the regional cooperation between the members of South Asia. Our next article is talking about wolf warrior approach. So we'll understand what wolf warrior approach denote. From the last few years, what we have been witnessing is the Chinese diplomats being a lot offensive. They are being offensive as to promote and protect its own natural security and natural interests, national interests. So to protect their national interest, the diplomats of China worldwide are being very offensive, and as a result Chinese government and China have been in news in the last few years, especially in the last year where we have witnessed the Chinese envoy to Bangladesh giving negative comments regarding the Bangladesh joining Quad grouping. So when you come across a term called as wolf warrior approach, you should remember that this is relating to the Chinese diplomats. Our next article is stating that 35% of the government schools and Anganwadis having no tap water. Last year, that is nearly 10 months ago, we have seen the Jal Jeevan Mission launching its 100-day program. And under this 100-day program, it has stated that all the Anganwadis and government schools in the country would be provided functional tap water so that children who are coming to school can wash their hands, can use this water for other purposes. But now after the parliamentary committee has analyzed the report, it has stated that still 35% of the government schools and Anganwadis have no water. You should remember that this is coming under the Jal Jeevan Mission under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and it was the one which has come up with this 100-day program or the campaign. Next we'll start some practice MCQs. First question, Great Barrier Reef which is seen in the news is it in Austria, is it in Indonesia, is it in Brazil, is it in Australia? It is option D, Australia. Next question. Ramapa temple or the Rudrashvara temple, which has received the World Heritage Site status, is in the state of, is it in Gujarat, is it in Telangana, is it in Maharashtra, is it in Bihar, is it in Telangana? We should remember that we are talking about the World Heritage Inscription. It is not the World Heritage Site, but rather it is inscription given. Next question. The term wolf warrior approach seen in the news is relating to, is it Pakistan, is it to Russia, is it relating to China, or is it to Turkey? It is option D, China. Next question. Which of the following is not a member of the SAARC grouping? Is Bhutan not a member? Is Maldives not a member? Is Afghanistan not a member? Or is it Thailand? The option D is the correct answer because Thailand is not a part of SAARC grouping. Next question. Who has won the World Cadet Wrestling Championship held at Hungary? Is it Miss Ritu Fogat? Is it Miss Priya Malik? Is it Miss Mary Kom? Or is it Miss Mirabai Chanu? It is Miss Priya Malik as seen earlier. And with this, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about Addod's initiative to your other aspirant friends. You can visit Addod's website to attempt more mock questions from today's current affairs session. Thank you for watching.
Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.